Live.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Milan. I would like to welcome you guys to this week's session, HACKcelerator on air. We are live from the AngelHack headquarters with two of our teams that we accelerate throughout a 3-month program that we created here at AngelHack. Feel free to join us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter at AngelHack, join us with the hashtag HACKcelerator15. You guys can jump in, ask us any questions. Over the next hour, we will be interviewing two teams that we accelerated through our HACKcelerator. Our HACKcelerator is a great program. We provide a lot of value to the teams. Over the last 3 years, we created about $28 million in value. Our graduates go on to very well-known accelerators such as Y Combinator, 500 Startups, Techstars, and we had 2 Google acquisitions last year, 1 Box acquisition this year, and we are super excited to present you guys every week on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 2 of our participating companies in this year HACKcelerator. What I would want to do now, I would like to intro you guys to 2 of our teams. One team is joining us from the airport in Mexico City, and the other team is joining us from the Impact Hub in Dubai. We are a very international crowd here at AngelHack. Our developer ecosystem has about 50,000 developers from all over the world. And what we're doing with the HACKcelerator is we're transforming this developer ecosystem into a startup ecosystem. It's super exciting, and without any further ado, I would like to hand it off to Wrappup from Dubai. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey.
You guys want to give us a little elevator pitch of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So Wrappup directs productive meetings by using smart voice notes and a smart voice note recorder to create minutes from hours. So essentially, it's the first app to leverage verbal communication for note-taking through an intelligent voice recorder. Basically, at the push of a button, a user can organize his recording by agenda topic that they're discussing, and then can tag quick highlights such as decisions or actions that they'll need to refer to later. And actually, we've just developed a speech-to-text search boost and a speaker recognition system that allows you to understand who is speaking when in the meeting to more easily reference every single moment from every single meeting.
Wow, that's very impressive. So it looks like we at AngelHack, we don't need to take notes once you guys go live?
Yeah,
Probably not.
I hope so. Wow, that's super interesting. Cool. Team BoxTrip from Mexico, do you guys want to give us a little pitch of what you guys been developing since the hackathon?
Yes, of course. House moving is always a hard and stressful task. Find a vehicle and helpers might be very difficult, and find an affordable service too. For that reason, Random Walker creates BoxTrip. BoxTrip connects people who need a quality moving service with quality service providers, making quotation price process easy and quick. We focus on security, quality, and speed, making the BoxTrip experience the best moving service experience in the life of people.
Wow, so that's kind of like Uber for moving, is that correct?
Yeah, it's quite similar. We have 2 kinds of services. We have the YOLO service, that you only live once service.
The tailored service, when you don't have to do anything, you just have to
hire the service.
to hire the service, and you don't worry on anything else.
Wow.
We do all the stuff for you.
Wow, that's awesome. So how did you guys come up with this idea? Like, have you guys had moving issues in the past, or did you guys move around in Mexico a lot, or how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, we had some troubles years before because we had to move from many departments. So we had always the trouble to find the people who gives you better service. So we figured out that we needed to
Improve that process.
improve that process.
For example, here in Mexico, you need to make at least 5 quotation price, because there are a lot of providers, informal providers, and you need to secure or to assure that you are hiring the best service, because some people stole your things or broke the things that you are moving, or maybe the price is the highest, the highest price you ever see. So we we came up with this idea when we moved the last time. Um, Here's BoxTrip.
Wow, that's cool. So you guys pretty much you guys are way cheaper, and you also take out all the pain points that are attached to this like process of finding the right moving providers. That's pretty impressive. Cool.
Yeah, we
Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's fine. No.
Cool. I'll come back to you guys in a little bit. Hey, team Wrappup, how did you guys come up with this problem? Have you guys been part of a lot of meetings and had to take notes by yourself and nothing was organized?
So actually, I worked with Bain & Company for 4 years, and I was a part of probably, I don't know, 7 to 8 meetings a week, and running those meetings efficiently was basically a large part of what we were paid for. So you realize how much time is lost and how much time can be gained with an effective meeting, an efficient meeting, and a lot of that centered around note-taking, you know, taking the right notes, following up on all the action items, making sure everyone's on the same page, and then creating a momentum out of that meeting that you can leverage to actually get things done. And so what I realized was if we can automate that, we'd be so much better off. And now we have the talented team that learned how to do not just that, but even more so with bunch of language processing and terms I probably couldn't even pronounce if I tried. But essentially, we've been able to move forward in a direction where we're trying to solve people's problems in the workplace.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit more about the team. So why are you guys the right folks to execute on that? It sounds like, first of all, you experienced this problem firsthand, which is always good, which always makes a great founder. But what else do you guys bring to the table?
So I'm going to have Mr. Machine Learning over here and Mr. Front-End Guru tell you about what they do.
All right. So I developed the backend part of the application, wherein I build the backend service, and a lot of which I build is trying to automate and make intelligent stuff right from the meetings. So when I first heard about Rami's idea and how meetings were efficient, I always thought of making this entire process more automated, and part of which was how much was everybody in the meeting speaking, or how much time was spent in the meeting, and how useful was his content in the meeting, how much decisions were arrived, how many action items were created based on what he was speaking about. So I've built a lot of machine learning platforms over the past few years. I had a previous startup myself back in my college years. This year, in fact, we were winners of Middle East with a Thai business plan competition where we made a location-based social networking application. And that's why I've been working on a lot of machine learning platform, and we're trying to apply a lot of machine learning and natural language processing to make this process and this experience more intuitive, more friendly, and much more exciting for the user. So like Rami was telling about speaker, trying to find out who is speaking, when is he speaking, and who is that person speaking. So if you're able to identify and get that kind of information from every meeting, you can essentially say that this person has spoken for about 25% or 50% of the meeting, and based on what he has said, we were able to arrive on these many decisions, or how useful was his content for the meeting. So we're trying to move to the process of making entire process more automated now.
Awesome. Cool. Wow, that's super interesting. It sounds like a lot of technical work back there. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Team BoxTrip, how about you? Why are you guys the right people to execute on this? I remember you guys mentioned you had the problem in the past, which again, you know, is a perfect start for starting off a company based on that problem. But can you give me a little insights about how this works from a technical perspective and why you guys are able to execute on this?
Yes, of course. Well, we are 4 TTs with experience in other areas like finance and technological. We are working hard to achieve the experience in other areas like business. We have a lot of experience developing solutions for mobile and desktop and web.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of contacts with service providers moving service providing. So we complementing each other
Mm-hmm.
with all our, for example, Paco is
a master in Ruby on Rails, and he knows a lot about web developing. Christian is a very good designer and knows about
user
the
experience.
user experience. Gabi is a master on economics and financial stuff, and I'm in charge to contact the providers and see what they want, what how the things get done with them to to have a standard of quality. So I think we are combining
Skills.
all these skills to achieve a good experience with the BoxTrip and users.
And all of us are very enthusiastic of strong abilities to make good relation people.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of associations with other companies that want to help us and want to know more about BoxTrip and not to, and want to know how can they help to
Yeah,
improve BoxTrip.
yeah, we are figuring out where we can help, where we can join a team, and startup growth to give the best experience to the BoxTrip end user.
Wow, that's awesome. You guys seem to have a very complementary skill set, which is always super important for investors and potential business partners, because at the end of the day, the team really makes a difference, even much more than the solution, because the solution can pivot, but the team cannot. So I'm super excited that both of you guys, both of your teams here, have so complementary skill set that you guys can bring to the table. Gabriela, you said you guys are working on signing up customers to the platform right now, and you said you already have strategic alliances with some potential partners. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
We have some customers right now. We're trying to reach more customers by showing them how
The successful stories.
yeah the successful stories about the first customer we had.
Mm-hmm.
We have had 6 customers. So
Already.
we are making the trips with friends and friends of the friends. And our first service providers are providers that are
That we know.
that we know and we have met in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So this all that all these tasks were hard, were very hard because we have
Because we were there assuring the quality was on the top, because we wanted to the customer feel a new experience in the this much, many people here, a lot of people here had trouble with moving service. They got stuff stolen and things disappear, and the provider didn't appear at the time. So we are trying to make the best experience by looking the whole process and helping them and asking what would they want, what can we do for them.
and right now we are um, spreading the word about BoxTrip with some communities like Angular JS and something like that here in Mexico, Androiders, and some communities that are friends of us
Mm-hmm.
in the schools and with all the journalists that are interested in BoxTrip. They are helping us to spread the word. So this is our strategies, like by recommendation, friends of friends, and making the experience, the BoxTrip experience, a good experience for the users.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, this is always it's always super important to work very closely with the customer or potential customers and always ensure their satisfaction, keep getting their feedback. This is how companies are really successful. Um, a little anecdote there. The company Homejoy, who I think raised over $72 million, the founder, Adora Cheng, she used to be one of the first people on the supply side on her platform to go out there and clean houses. So she used to sleep in her car and build the product at night and then execute on the supply side during the day. So it looks like you guys are up there and really try to hustle and get that off the ground. So it's super exciting. Cool. Let's give it back to Team Dubai. Wrap up. For you guys, like it sounds like you guys have been facing a lot of technical challenges, but the product is off the ground, and from what I know, you guys are beta testing that already. Can you tell me a little bit more about your biggest achievements so far?
So actually, we've had the pleasure and the privilege of working with Emirates Airlines. We went in and pitched to the Emirates Innovation Lab, where essentially Emirates wants to take part in any type of innovation, whether it is, hardware, software, machine learning, all types of things. And when we pitched the concept to them, they loved it so much they really wanted to partake and not only, help us beta test, but actually help us build out a bit of the product. So we're actually working really exclusively with them to make a product that people want, people need, and people know how to use, because it's really a habit-changing product. So that's really been some of the most exciting work we've done. We're also opening it up to a wider audience so that people can go in and take it into their meeting rooms, and we can learn about what they're using it for, what are some of the kinks that we can work out, and kind of some of the niche plays that we see people using it. And we're really excited about not just working with Emirates Airlines, but several different companies have shown interest and are working with us on a informational basis right now, but probably more in detail later. Microsoft is one. Another is Dubizzle, which is probably the largest, let's say, Craigslist version in the Middle East. So we're excited about working with these different companies, some tech, some more traditional companies, and really seeing what types of meetings this works best in and how people use it.
Wow, super exciting. To give everybody here on this HACKcelerator 15 on-air session a little background, we are in week 8 of our accelerator. So those guys, they just started building out the product 8 weeks ago, and they're already working with Emirates Airlines or have strategic alliances with moving partners, already first paying customers. So this is an amazing success so far, and we are very excited to invite both of the teams to our global demo day on October 29th in Silicon Valley, where we showcase them to all of our investors. Last year around, we had people from Y Combinator, 500 Startups, Techstars, Google Ventures, you name it, all the big guys come to our demo day and check out the product. Reason being is because we at AngelHack, at our accelerator, we are so different. Where traditional accelerators only take in teams that already have an established product, already established customer pipeline, etc. We take teams with a concept stage and accelerate them to a company with traction within 12 weeks. So our approach is way more rapid, and we saw a lot of successes, again, 2 Google acquisitions, 1 Box acquisition earlier this year, and we are very excited to see how well our batch is going to perform this year. And from what I know in the benchmark to our previous batches, our teams are way further along this time around. They're way more hustling, trying to establish a customer pipeline, as you guys see with BoxTrip and Wrappup now here on this Accelerator on air. So super exciting stuff. If you guys want to join the conversation, follow us on Twitter at AngelHack and tweet questions using the hashtag HACKcelerator15. I'll be on the lookout for any kind of questions that you guys give us on Twitter. Again, we have this session every week on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. For an hour, we will showcase 2 cutting-edge startups here live from AngelHack HQ in San Francisco. Cool. Back to BoxTrip. Gab, do you want to explain us a little bit more about how the competitive environment looks like? Are you guys the only people doing that? Do you guys have first mover advantage? How does this work? Are there any other people in that space trying that out?
Yes, well, here in Mexico, we are the first team. We are making things like that. there are one pretty similar that calls Mejores Mudanzas, but they are simulating the process that currently is making that way. For example, they're making 3 or 5 price quotation, and customer can choose with which provider they want to hire the service. In USA, there are two. There is Luch, that is an on-demand moving service provider. They provide pickup or a van with 2 helpers, and they are the cost of the service is for time. You pay the time you use. And there is another that is GetDolly.com. Is the it's quite similar like BoxTrip, but they are made only the items, the number of items that you will translate, no, translate, no, transport, move, you moved.
Or yeah.
They are startups too. Luke is strong at.
Okay, so how do you guys actually monetize if you don't charge by the item? Or is that a flexible pricing strategy?
We yeah, a percentage. Yeah,
We charge a small amount of fee to the customer to,
for each trip.
For each trip. For example, if they have $100 trip, we take around
15%.
15%. The provider is motivated to know that the customer has already done a reservation. For example, to be sure that they reserve that service, and we make sure that the providers are available, asking for or el adelanto.
25.
So we take the 50 around 15% of the final price.
Okay. Well, that's very reasonable and fair. I think the way you guys will actually be very successful is by this word of mouth referrals, because that way you can scale it essentially to a point where those 15% become very valuable if you see it on the scale. So very interesting, cool. Bringing it back to Wrappup from Dubai, what are your guys' possible monetization streams? Did you guys explore any avenues there yet?
Yeah, so we have really 2 monetization schemes that we're looking into. Our first was just a basic SaaS freemium model, where we give out the product for free online, have people use it, and hopefully it'll become so habit-forming that the limitations we place on the free product will push people towards a premium product. And that's what we've seen in the enterprise space, really taking form with products like Slack, and that's what we'd be targeting for a mass deployment. Now, one of the benefits of being in a place like Dubai is that we have had access to some of the largest companies at a very early stage, and normally companies take a while before they reach out to the largest enterprises to build custom solutions. So we've had the opportunity to start building one out with an Emirates Airlines, hopefully with other companies as well. So we'd probably leverage that to a point where, like we were saying earlier, building out a product that really is useful for everyone within Emirates or for a group within Emirates, and start a large-scale enterprise custom application right from the start in order to meet security protocols and different IT protocols that the company would have. So that's the way we're looking at it.
Right. Wow, super interesting. And again, I just want to emphasize here that both of your teams, we're just 8 weeks in, so the amount of traction that you guys got at this stage, that's fantastic, and it's something that I've never seen before. And I'm pretty sure once you guys fly to Silicon Valley on October 29th, there's going to be a lot of interest from the investors. Again, for everybody out there, if you guys have any questions how the solutions work, who the competitors are, or what they ate for breakfast, or any random question, follow us on Twitter and tweet at us, usually using hashtag HACKcelerator15 to learn more about the newest technology from Silicon Valley or from all over the world that we then bring to Silicon Valley at the end of October. And then please go ahead and join us every week. This is going to be happening every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can learn more about our startups here at Angel Hack that showed us a tremendous amount of success over the last 2 years. So super exciting stuff going on. But I want to keep going and talk a little bit more about your experience at the hackathon. Again, for everybody out here, Angel Hack is the world's largest developer ecosystem. We have about 50,000 developers from all over the world, and we host hackathons in every city. So what hackathons are? Those are developer competitions where we offer them a slot in our accelerator as the grand prize. We host these competitions in over 52 cities globally. Super exciting stuff. The hackers are all around the world, developers are all around the world, and at the end of the day, those are the people that will transform pretty much our world and our technology. So at these hackathons, we give them access to a variety of APIs, and the individuals form teams, sit down, start hacking for about 48 hours straight. Team Dubai, how was your experience at the hackathon? Did you guys know each other before? How did you start building Wrappup?
First of all, we only got 24 hours. I must mention.
My bad.
So I mean, it was amazing. Actually, it was all three of our second hackathon. We had met previously at another hackathon nearby, and I would say that this one was much more productive in actually building out a product. So we came in, we were all ready to rumble. Idea pitched for about 15 seconds. That's about it. Knew exactly what we needed. These guys listened in. I think they were interested. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we're talking about building out a product in 24 hours, not just screenshots, not just a visual or a vision of what it might be. But maybe, Rishav, you can walk us through a bit of some of the app that we actually built and what it could do.
Yeah, like in the 24 hours, we never expected like we could build an actual prototype, and for in the initial, we met it and we okay, we can work on the idea and we can start on it and we can prepare the visuals. But at the end of the 24 hours, we were okay, we can actually build the product. And when the judges tried it out, it was they said it's 90% accurate. We were seriously, we built it out in 24 hours, such a big working prototype. That was the best moment. That whole thing, full voice recording, I've had voice notes, everything, all the things completely dynamic and working prototype. That was the best feel. You can build a complete prototype in 24 hours instead of just presenting visuals and the presentations. So we actually loved it a lot.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that firsthand. When I went back to work the next day, I used the prototype in a meeting. And I thought to myself, you guys' hashtag is thoughts become things. And I was like, thoughts become really freaking cool things when you really put your mind to it. I mean, we didn't sleep, but these guys built out a product that could do everything we wanted it to do in 24 hours. Who would have thought that?
This is amazing, and this is why I personally really love what we do here at Angel Hack and working with very exciting, aspiring entrepreneurs like you guys. Again, for the audience, these are products that come out of hackathons. So essentially, those kids met at the hackathon, had an idea, sat down 24 hours straight, started coding, and there we are in our Angel Hack Accelerator 8 weeks later, and we have a fully working prototype. We have teams already moving stuff in Mexico City from door to door, paying customers, strategic alliances of potential customers. We have Team Wrappup from Dubai that are already working with Emirates Airlines, have Microsoft secured as a client. So it's amazing to see what you can actually do within 24 hours, essentially, and then as part of our Hackcelerator. Again, if you guys want to join us, follow us on Twitter at AngelHack, tweet questions using our hashtag. HACKcelerator15 is our official hashtag, and you guys can join the conversation about the latest cutting-edge technology from all over the world that we then bring to Silicon Valley on October 29th. Cool. Team BoxTrip from Mexico. Do you guys want to explain, tell us a little bit more about your experience at the hackathon? I think you guys knew each other before, right?
Yeah, we used to work in the same place. Um, when Omar and I went of a first hackathon 1 month ago to Angel, no, 1 month before Angel Hack, and we were mentors, and we were fascinating about how people can build something exciting and something interesting and amazing in only 48 hours or less. So for when we know about Angel Hack, we were very excited, and we are trying to more people join us to go to hackathon. Um, at the beginning, we were 5, but the day of the hackathon only were 4, and we have like the idea, but we want to make the thing real, the BoxTrip real. So we focus on the business and all the things that can help us to make BoxTrip real, to make um, all this process easy and real. So we focus on the idea, on the business, on all the mock-ups, and we were so excited to start to build BoxTrip and see how to improve that idea, how to improve the system, and all the things that we can make. The idea has suffered a lot of change from the hackathon because when we have the first touch or the first contact with the real customers, we realize things. We have hypothesis, and then we improve all the hypotheses. We join more ideas, we join more processes, and well, we have a lot of fun in the hackathon. We're amazing, the food, people, all of the things. We were so happy, and when we announced as winner, we cried. Really, we cried. We were so
Really?
happy.
Oh, I bet. I
Yeah.
bet. Yeah, that must be such an exciting moment, right? Like when you code for 24 hours straight, and then at the end of the day, you make it in between all of the teams. I'm not quite sure how many teams you guys had, but probably somewhere around 15 to 20 teams that you were competing with. So that must be an amazing experience. Let me ask you this: how does your product now has changed? So what did you guys change from the original pitch at the hackathon?
Okay. The first idea was like be more similar to Mejores Mudanzas. So we want to create easier way to make a price quotation, and we make a description of each item the people uh, move, and we offered at least 5 quotations, and our first differentiator were only the fast way to make the price quotation. But when we need the real needs and the requirement of the customers, we must improve all the process. Like they need more quality service, they need more affordable prices, they need no not only with companies. We think at the beginning that people want to hire a company for their services due to the security, but we realize with the real customers that they want an affordable price, and they are willing to pack in and lift their belongings. So a lot of changes. We are not only now with companies, we are with people who has a vehicle and people who want to help and they don't have they don't need to have a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of difference from the main idea or the principal idea to BoxTrip as is today.
As it is today. Sure. It's again, I'm just so amazed to see how the teams actually make progress and how you guys actually, transformed your original idea to what it is now. And again, you guys have, a very exciting amount of success. So that's really, really exciting to see. And I think, everybody feels the same about this. Once you come out of the hackathon, this is where the excitement really starts. But we just push you to an edge where you keep building out a product and actually form a company. So again, everybody out there, if you guys want to join the conversation, if you guys have questions, follow us at AngelHack, use the official hashtag HACKcelerator15. But hey, Gab, one more question. So you guys are at the airport right now. Do you want to share where you guys are flying? Because I think this is it's pretty exciting to hear as well.
Yeah, well, we're in the airport because we are traveling to Paris. We were selected as the top of the 10 Mexican top 10 Mexican.
Wow, this is amazing. You guys are already selected as one of the 10 hottest startups in Mexico and are invited to pitch in Paris. Again, for everybody out there, in case you missed it earlier, so our team BoxTrip from Mexico City is actually joining us from the airport in Mexico City right now. This is why we can't see their video. But they're about to fly to Paris to take part of a pitch competition where they're invited amongst the 10 hottest startups from Mexico to pitch to investors and business partners in Paris. Again, it's just a proof of how international we are here at AngelHack. Our teams are flying all over the world to pitch their ideas and concepts and engage with early stage investors and potential customers. So super exciting. A little bit more about the HACKcelerator experience and Team Wrappup from Dubai. I would like to give it back to you. How has your experience in the HACKcelerator been so far, and how helpful was it in the first 8 weeks?
So one thing is for sure, it's really intense. I mean, definitely pushes you to get through all the different stages. So if you're good at product, it'll push you in marketing. If you're good at marketing, it'll push you in product. If you're good at product and marketing, it'll push you in traction. So it's really just a fantastic way to make sure you're covering all your bases, going through all of the steps that it takes, and really just framing the entire concept in a way that's practical. And we all know it's rarely about the idea. It's mainly about the execution. And the way that we focus on execution, on metrics, on submissions, I think that it's just fantastic. And to add on top of that, I think the way we share as a community, the way we push each other as a community, Slack helped a lot in that. I'm sure you didn't have half as much communication last year, and hopefully you'll have twice as much communication next year with Wrappup. So we're really excited about the whole process, about getting on a plane, but it took a lot of hard work, and that's what I think stands out to us. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, it's definitely a challenging task, getting the week's deliverables done, and at the same time, develop a product which is user-friendly. It reaches out to people. It meets users' requirement, and it's really simple and easy to use product. So every aspect of the program, be it marketing, product fit, or the deliverables for the code, or every aspect was really interesting, and the talks that we have, the sessions we have every Monday has been really useful and informative in terms of who do we reach out to and their experiences. So this Monday was really interesting.
I think we got 100 data points in under 45 minutes on where we should use tools and products, and it was just fantastic.
I remember that. That was a very intense session.
It was pretty nice.
Again, just to give you guys on our HACKcelerator on-air session a little context about that. Last week we were talking about growth hacking techniques, and we had an amazing speaker called Vincent Dignan, and Techstars alum, joining us. And he was just bombarding us with tools, how to growth hack, how to acquire users. And in our Slack channel, we had a very vibrant live discussion amongst all the batch team members. They actually started creating notes, shared all their notes with each other. So the synergies that we have here at the Accelerator, I think this is a very key aspect of it. And the second aspect is just the ability of the teams on execution. So both teams that are invited today, Team Wrappup from Dubai and Team BoxTrip from Mexico City, have doing an amazing job in executing right after they started. So they just had an MVP. We started with the very first session, and they were just going in 100% from day one, which is one of the reasons why those guys will be pitching on our global demo day on October 29th in Silicon Valley. So again, if you guys want to be part of it out there on our Hackcelerator on air session, join us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter at AngelHack, join the conversation, hashtag HACKcelerator15. If you want to learn more about how we kick founders from concept stage product to a product with traction in 12 weeks, try to be live on every Hangout on air session every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Cool. Team Mexico City, Team BoxTrip, I want to give it back to you guys one more time. You guys have been part of the Accelerator, obviously from the very beginning, and you learned from all the synergies that we had there. Did you guys get familiar with some of the other teams? Do you know what they're doing, or did you just focus more on your product and building? Which is not a problem at all.
Yeah, well, we are in contact with Colombia team. They are fantastic, and the Barcelona, because it's easy to speak with them like in Spanish. We are improving our English, but we feel a little nervous. But we are really impressive about all the projects they are amazing. They are
Hey, Gab, I think
talented, and we're so happy to make it with them. So we like much all the projects that are active and.
Right. No, I can totally underline what you say. Like the fact that all teams are super active. It's just great for us as AngelHack who manage the program, but as well for the teams. It's just super exciting. Sometimes in the morning, at Sundays, 7 a.m. in the morning, I wake up to 250 unread Slack messages, and I just see the founders hustling all weekend, all night long. Nothing changed ever since they left the hackathon. It looks like most of the teams are really coding all day, all night, and it's really rewarding and exciting for us to see how much progress our teams make.
BoxTrip, podemos hablar en español si quieres.
There we go, the Spanish speakers. Hola, me llamo Milan. Hola. The only thing that I can contribute to the Spanish conversation is hola, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Milan. I had Spanish for 2 years in high school. But that's a couple years back, and unfortunately I never got to practice it. But whenever I'm in Mexico City, I will definitely catch up with you guys from BoxTrip and go out with you for 1, 2, or 10 cerveza. Cool. Team Dubai, couple more questions from my end. What is your wrap-up story? What is the experience so far that demonstrates that your product is important and necessary, aside from the participation of Emirates Airlines amongst a couple other people? What is the main experience where you as founders said like, oh wow, this is just happening, it's taken off?
So we actually took the team, so as you get into product, I was talking about that earlier, you dive into different avenues and then you kind of get stuck and really deep dive into those avenues. You need to step back sometimes. So we took the team to an actual meeting with a small, medium-sized company, which is our target market in the SaaS freemium model. And we had everyone sit down from the team and actually take out their phones for a construction meeting and basically use Wrappup to go through the minutes of meeting that they have and essentially create a wrap-up within the app. And that experience was just fantastic because, first of all, I'm not sure how much experience we've had trying it out in different industries. Construction is literally an industry where they print out pages of minutes and then just go over them and over them and over them and constantly improve them. So by the end of the meeting, first of all, we had everything captured cleanly, noted, all from our phones. We had no idea what half the words they were using were, but we actually had very detailed notes, and if ever we wanted to go back, we could play the highlights that we had captured and then understand them. So at the end of the meeting, we just, I sat there and we started reeling off all of our notes. So John is going to go out and talk to these different distributors and get a price quote. Steve is going to come back to us with a different quotation or a different response on so-and-so. And by the end of the meeting, not only did we have all of the notes there, we had just implemented a new topic timer, which allows you to understand, okay, you spent this much time on this topic, and so on and so forth. And when I showed that to the CEO, he sat there and he took the app from my hands and he just started copying it by hand. And I was like, what are you doing? He was like, well, we go over our allotted time every single meeting, and I never know why. And this is the first time I'm able to actually understand what we were talking about and how long it took.
That's amazing.
You there?
I'm still there. Can you hear me? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I can hear you guys.
So he basically copied down all the timings for each of the topics, and not only that, he took us to his office and showed us this pile of notes that he's been collecting over the years that he still refers to. So it wasn't just the immediacy and the accuracy of everything we were building, but it was this long-term memory, this conversation memory, this meeting memory that we're building into people's lives that really showed us, okay, this has a lot of potential to really disrupt the way people do work and really reference things that happen in meetings. And verbal communication is so rich that it's really difficult to capture it in a note. So sometimes referencing what was actually said, either through a transcript or through the audio, it's just the best way to do it.
Wow, that's amazing. I think the fact that he took it off your hand and said wow, this is amazing, and then walks back into his office with this huge pile of meeting notes that you guys essentially eliminate and automate. So again, it's an amazing solution. I'm super excited for the feedback from our investors and from our broader audience on our Global Demo Day on October 29th. Team Mexico BoxTrip Gap, do you guys want to give us a little... Oh, they just jumped off. Maybe they will rejoin in a second. There we go. Hey, Gab. You guys are back on air. Can you hear us okay?
Guys, let's excuse their bad internet. They're only, flying to Paris to pitch at Innovation Day, It's all good.
that happens. At least they could join our HACKcelerator on-air session for the first 50 minutes. And again, for everybody out there, keep tuning in every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. We're showcasing 2 of our startups that will then hopefully be flying to our Silicon Valley Global Demo Day on October 29th. I think it's very interesting and super exciting to keep hearing about their personal stories, to what they actually did after the hackathon. Because again, to give you guys a little context, those are hackathon projects. Those are not companies that have been around for 3 years. Those are companies that have been around for 8 weeks. So I just want to emphasize, it's so amazing how much traction they already got, and how much interest from big corporations such as Microsoft and Emirates Airlines. Emirates Airlines is actually freeing up resources to help the team Wrappup developing their product further. And I think that's proof of concept right there. And having this after 8 weeks in a program is it's just amazing. Hey Rami, have you guys seen yourself doing this 5 years ago?
I think each would have an answer to that. I definitely saw myself doing it. I would say that my corporate experience kind of gave me the guidance and the experience that I needed to find something that wasn't just social media and something different, but really something practical, useful, and day-to-day building productivity and building efficiency. I don't know these guys are definitely hungry for entrepreneurship from the start.
Well, what impressed me really was the accountability that this app got in everybody's life. You could just reference back every point in time what was said, what was talking about, and how easy and intuitive this application was to reference everything. And so from the CEO meeting that we saw from the construction that day, it was really became evident that you need some sort of mechanism to sort of reference back stuff way back, maybe 1 year in advance, 2 year in advance. And what impressed me was the technology and how we can use technology to make this product much more better and much more convenient for users. So rightly said, speech to text based search or identifying speaker was just the tip of the iceberg. We're just going to go much step further and try and make this more process much more better for everybody.
Earlier we never thought like it will be that easy, like we that much required and all. But like after like when we got into this project, and like we even thought like it can be used in other places like education and all. Like, and when we actually went into that meeting with like the company with the CEO, and that was my first corporate meeting in my life, and I never realized like so much time has gone and like so much important details are there, and we have to keep the proper minutes of the meeting. So that was a very big learning for me and for all of us, and that helped us a lot, like to learn how this product is useful and how it can be used in the future, and very big learning for us.
Yeah.
Well, just to add to him, I was a business analyst at Merck & Co. Before I started working Wrappup, and you used to attend those corporate meetings with the higher up managers and the directors there, and nothing really came out of the meeting. It was just people talking, and there was no accountability. So I was really excited to see something that actually had some sort of accountability and some sort of mechanism which allowed users to be more efficient in what they do about. So something which people can follow up on, and something which you have more as a proof of what was spoken about and how to go a step further. So which is what really impressed me about how we can build this product much more in the near future.
So you can tell we're not just entrepreneurs, we're people who hate people who don't get things done.
You guys definitely are. You guys are definitely a very aspiring team. And for everybody out there, if you guys are trying to get shit done in the future, if you guys are stuck in corporate meetings for like 4 hours and you don't have no idea about who's taking on what action item, follow Team Wrappup or come to our global demo day on October 29th and see them pitching to investors and our broader audience. I think your Twitter handle is @Wrappup. Is that right?
Just wrap up. Just wrap up, man.
Just wrap up. Just wrap up. Get it done. Amazing. Cool. Yeah, again, I'm super excited to see you guys here, meet you guys in person in San Francisco later in October. Let me ask you a couple more questions before we call it a Accelerator on Air session today. What public figure in the tech or startup industry do you look up the most?
So,
who's your idea?
David Butterfield is probably someone that recently his growth and what he's been able to accomplish with not just one but 2 companies. So he's the founder of Slack, but before that Flickr. And what they were doing was that they were building out another product entirely. And while they were building out that product after Flickr, they stumbled upon Slack, which was just this easier way to communicate. And it was just about topics instead of direct messaging. And then you hear him speak, and he doesn't really talk about the technology. He really talks about the philosophy or the psychology of how we should be communicating in the big picture. So personally, I always try to, look up to people that see a much wider lens, much more long-term focus than just, something that might be useful today. And when I linked up with the team, we didn't want to just build a product that could send out minutes of meeting. I told Ayush about the product, and he wanted to build a conversation archiver and automate the entire process. Nobody does anything. And then I spoke to Rishav, and he wanted to figure out a way to lay out the buttons so people felt so comfortable tagging everything that they wanted, and they had, complete remote control of life in front of them. And so what I look for in the people we look up to are people like Stuart Butterfield, and visionaries of the sort that really change the way people work or live day to day.
Wow, yeah, that's I totally see you guys in that space, and I kind of like see you guys being the next people that transform the landscape of productivity tools. For everybody out there, I like Casey and me from the HACKcelerator team, we onboarded them very early, and we had this amazing call. I remember it still with Rami and the team, where they said, "Oh, it's like it's the most amazing technology. Meetings are gonna get done way quicker." And I thought to myself, I was like, I want this right now. It's gonna save me probably 4 hours every day. And I'm, wasting so much time, but meetings are important. There's no way you can eliminate the meetings. So just make it more efficient and more productive. And I think this is what you guys do, and I think this is the vision that are behind your guys' product. And the same with Team BoxTrip from Mexico, who are still on here but are having some issues with the audio. They're transforming the way people move, and I think on average, we probably all moved a couple times at least in our lives, and I know every time it's a huge pain. Calling the U-Haul, asking friends to help you move, deassemble, all that kind of stuff. And then it's also a very big cost factor. So Team BoxTrip from Mexico City, they're eliminating all this, taking the pain points out, and doing this for the cheapest price possible. And they're actually on their way to Paris to pitch in Paris, as they are selected as one of the top 10 startups from Mexico today. So again, this is super insightful, super interesting, and I think everybody out there on our HACKcelerator on-air session enjoyed it this time around. I'm super excited to have 2 more teams next week around. Everybody out there, please join us. First of all, follow us on Twitter @AngelHack. If you have any questions regarding Team Wrappup from Dubai or Team BoxTrip from Mexico, tweet at us using the hashtag HACKcelerator15. And otherwise, I'm very excited to, first of all, meet both of you guys, both of your teams in San Francisco at the end of October, where we will be preparing for Global Demo Day. Other than that, I'm going to close it off. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thanks, everybody out there in the audience. I think, hopefully you guys got inspired and see where a hackathon project can go within 8 weeks after graduating the hackathon. Cool. Well, everybody, thank you guys. Thanks, Team BoxTrip. You guys have a safe flight to Paris. Team Dubai, Wrappup. Thank you guys so much for sharing all the insights. Again, super excited to see everybody in the audience next week at 10 a.m. Pacific time, where we have our HACKcelerator on-air session that we have every week. Thanks, everybody.
Milan, wait.
What's going on?
Sorry. We want to take this moment to thank you for all the support and all the things that Angel Hack and all the teams are making to improve all the other teams. This is an amazing platform and an amazing group, and we really appreciate all the help that you provide us and all the mentorship, all the things that you are making to improve all Angel Hack and all these amazing, I don't know how do you say, community, all amazing community. So see you soon, and thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and see you very soon. Saludos desde México.
Thank you guys for the declaring words. Thanks, everybody. And we are, this is what we love to do. This is what we're here for. We are world's largest developer ecosystem. And our team here at the Accelerator, we're transforming this developer ecosystem to the next startup ecosystem. And super excited to be working with so inspirational and exciting people like you. And I think everybody in the audience can look up to you and say, congratulations on this great job so far. Congratulations on having that much traction and that much energy to fly all around the world, deal with huge corporates such as Emirates Airlines and Microsoft. So I'm super excited to meet all you guys in person end of October.
Great. Can't wait. I think that's a wrap-up.
Now it's a wrap-up. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'll see you guys next time around 10 a.m. Pacific time at our HACKcelerator on-air session. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.